Today on Commander Replay, it's time to copy things from our graveyard. Watch as Lazav the Multifarious shows Horde of Notions, Nahiri the Lithomancer, and Kambal Console of Allocation how to abuse our graveyard the right way. Hey guys, we have a couple new awesome Patreon supporters. We have Colton Gillis, hope I got that right this time. We have Some Guy, and Sebastian Blackwell. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Welcome back everyone, playing some Lazav the Multifarious. This commander is pretty busted. You can do some really crazy things with this commander, and hopefully we'll be finding out what those are today. Opening hand looks reasonable, we'll go ahead and keep. This careful study will be able to loot us into some things that should be very helpful. So my buddy Dave's been working on a Lazav deck that I faced a few times, and it is fast. It's like turn 5, turn 6 kind of kills pretty consistently and with counterspell backup, so it's a pretty nasty little deck. I did not realize what was possible with Lazav. Anyway, we're going to lay down this Flooded Strand. We will start with our Watery Grave, untapped, and then we'll play the Careful Study. We will discard Necrotic Ooze, I guess Maximum Altitude. We can get an additional cast with it, with that Jumpstart ability. That's why it's in here. And we'll pass turn like that. This is about one of the lowest mana decks that you're ever going to see me roll out. I've got 35 in here. It could probably even go a little bit lower, quite honestly. This deck doesn't need a ton of mana to operate. Needs really, about 4 to 5 mana, maybe with a mana rock to really unleash its plans. So on the channel, I always talk about how important it is to make your land drops and how important it is to run a pretty high land count. I prefer 37, 38 lands in most of my decks. A deck like this that can win very fast is a little bit of a different story. If you're only expecting the game to go like 4 or 5 turns, then you really only want to see 4 or 5 lands. So as you get down into the more competitive decks, this particular build isn't competitive itself. It still needs a bunch of tuning to really get there, but I still think it's going to be just a very mana efficient and powerful deck for the, typical like semi-competitive commander crowd. I'm going to crack the Marsh Flats, grab a... I probably shouldn't have went with the fetch land this turn, probably should have went with the basic, but what can you do? We'll grab a Swamp right here, then we will play the Lightning Greaves, and then we will pass the turn. We'll have an interesting choice with this Trinket Mage next turn. We can get Soul Ring, Mana... Ooh, did I forget to put Mana Crypt in? I did forget to put Mana Crypt in. I'll take Key for the Horde of Notions opponent. Still an interesting choice between the Phyrexian Dreadnought, the Vector Asp, and the Soul Ring on this Trinket Mage. Probably thinking about the Soul Ring, unless we draw something that changes our mind this turn. And a Mask of Memory coming down for the Nahiri opponent. Great card draw in mono white. We draw a land, not really what I was looking for right there, but what can you do? I am thinking, let's lay down the Command Tower. Actually, let's play the Swamp. We have 3 swamps, so like one more swamp in this Kambal Stronghold could actually start netting us some mana. I'm going to go Trinket Mage for the Phyrexian Dreadnought right here. We have a lot of lands in hand, so as long as the game keeps going, we'll keep making land drops. So would rather get... Ooh, we can also get a Walking Ballista. I'm going to go for the Dreadnought. We'll put the boots on. Our plan is to get there with commander damage, so I don't think there's really any point to swing away with the Trinket Mage. Actually taking a look at what Lazav does, I've been talking about it for a little while. It's a blue and a black for a 1/3. When it enters the battlefield, surveil 1. Then the part that we're really going in on, which is pay X, Lazav becomes a copy of target creature card in your graveyard with converted mana cost X, except its name is Lazav, it's legendary in addition to its other types, and has this ability. So, probably not too hard to see that we're going to dump this Phyrexian Dreadnought into our graveyard. Then once Lazav is down, we're going to pay 1 to make Lazav a Phyrexian Dreadnought. Then our commander is a 12/12 with Trample. And if we start doing things like giving it Infect, we can literally one-shot opponents out of the game. Preeminent Captain coming down for the Nahiri opponent tells me that it's probably a Soldier Tribal deck. And Preeminent Captain can actually do some work. I was messing around with the Tajik deck the other day with my Soldier deck. Didn't film the game, sadly, but I got Ancient Tomb, Preeminent Captain on turn 2, got some 4-drop Soldier on turn 3, and the game ended on 6 turns. It was pretty impressive. That's a Windfall. Windfall is going to be, I think, most helpful. So Phyrexian Dreadnought just needs to get the graveyard one way or another. Jace's Archivist would be cool to have in play. I guess we could play the Archivist and... we'll just play the Archivist. Let's play the Kambal Stronghold. Like I said, we're close to getting it. Ooh, never mind. We needed blue mana. Crap. Well, that was bad. That being the case, let us... I guess cast our commander. We're going to surveil 1. It's a swamp. Definitely putting that into the graveyard. Getting a bit mana flooded. Then we will play the Phyrexian Dreadnought. It's going to get sacrificed. Oh, and we could actually go attacking with the Phyrexian Dreadnought this turn, so sacrifice the Dreadnought. Alright, so we can salvage this turn from the misplay on the manas. Put the boots on the Lazav. Lazav will become a copy of the Dreadnought. And who needs a killing? We have a Horde of Notions opponent. Bet they're up to some nastiness. So 12 into the Horde of Notions opponent. That is Commander, and it does have Trample. For those that aren't familiar with Phyrexian Dreadnought, if you haven't played a lot of Legacy, you may not be. Not exactly a card that shows up all that often in Commander, until now, at the very least. So, Horde of Notions, down to 27, 12 Commander damage. Oh, finishing up on our opponents, by the way. So we have Nahiri, likely on Soldier Tribal. And then we have a Kambal, Console of Allocation. Whenever opponent casts another non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Shouldn't be too big of a concern for us, since we are on the try to do a lot of Commander damage with Lazav plan. And Horde of Notions just scoops it up. So there they go. This may turn into a very fast game. Drifting Meadow coming down for our opponent. And a Catapult Squad. Yep. Definitely Soldier Tribals. That's the only place you're going to play a card like this. Tap 2 untap soldiers you controlled, 2 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Preeminent Captain going to go on the attack. Does have first strike, so we're not going to want to block that. And opponent will get a soldier from their hand into play, so that's going to speed them up a bit. Hopefully it's not one of the really big ones. Steel Shaper's Apprentice, that will find equipments for them, but yeah, we'll take the hit for 2. Actually, opponent's got a Mask of Memory. Well, opponent's going to get to draw some cards. Opponent loots away a Dragon Throne of Tarkir, fun. Opponent's going to Anguish Unmaking on our Lightning Greaves. That's a start. And they will pay the 1 to extort. Sure. That does keep us from Jace's Archivist putting the boots on and windfalling all in 1 turn. So right here we're going to play the Island so we don't forget. Play the Jace's Archivist. I think I'm going to swing into the Kambal. Kambal's probably got more removal than Nahiri, and it's going to be a lot of that Anguished Unmaking Utter End type of stuff, I'm assuming. A lot of good removal in black and white. Still a lot of good removal in mono white, but the way that mono white tends to play out with the card advantage, you probably don't run quite as much of it as the black and white deck will, in my opinion. And it does depend on the deck a little bit. But anyway, my gut feeling is that Kambal probably has a bit more removal than the Nahiri opponent. So opponent's going to block with the Syndicate of Tithes. I'm not sure if they realize the trample, but they will take 10 commander damage and go down to 29, and we'll pass turn like that. Next turn, I'll probably Jace's Archivist and then Windfall with that on the stack. Here comes Nahiri. Opponent's going to get dinged by the Kambal. Opponent's going to create a 1/1, and they can attach an equipment to it. Chooses not to. Opponent's going to swing in with the Preeminent Captain again. Let's see if they lay down another... Daru War Chief, you say. So the soldier's getting a little bit bigger. Still not going to block. Soldier's actually looking a bit threatening now. We may turn our focus toward them. We'll see what the Windfalls next turn bring us. So we're down to 27. Nahiri's got 3 cards in hand, which isn't going to make the Windfalls super profitable. That's part of the reason why I let the Mask of Memory go through, but with the fact that they keep slamming soldiers off of the Preeminent Captain ability, that has dwindled their hand size down a bit. Helm of the Host for the Kambal. That's not scary. I mean, that should be pretty funny if they start to get like 3 or 4 copies of Kambal down. You'd be losing a lot of life for each non-creature you cast. We draw another land, so now is a very good time to start to get down to the wheeling. Let's Windfall. We lose 2 life. We get 3 new cards. There's a land, there's some mana rocks, there's some stuff. Play the Rogue's Passage, play the Fellwar Stone, then leave up the counterspell. I think that's the plan. Kambal's going to ding us again. Getting down to 23. Going to swing into the Nahiri opponent. If they want to block, that's okay with me. If they want to try and soak up some of that damage. Alright, so they're going to do a little bit of blocking. It's okay by me. So the Catapult Squad goes down. Opponent takes 9 commander damage. It's down to 28 life. We are kind of open to a big swing back, though. Auriok Survivors, which can bring back an equipment. That equipment being Argentum Armor. Ooh, I'm thinking negative on that. Oh, hey, opponents can't make blue mana. We cannot counter. Rough. Alright, well, this is going to hurt a bit. Doesn't look like they can attack with the Auriok Survivors yet, but that gives us 1 turn. And actually, we can use the Jumpstart thingy. Where is that? Maximum Altitude to give the Dreadnought flying. Opponent's going to put an equipment from their hand into play. Don't be boots. It's the Dragon Throne. Okay, we're okay. They can't equip it yet. Preeminent Captain going back on the attack. No creatures in opponent's hand. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Let's see. I want them to loot so that their hand will fill up a little bit more for our Jace's Archivist. I will block the 2/3, however. So opponent's gonna get to draw and discard. So they have 4 cards in hand, which will make the Jace's Archivist reasonably profitable. Kambal up to 5 cards in hand. Should have got them in the draw step. Thrall Parasite, you say. Can extort, tap, pay 2 life, remove target counter from a non-land permanent. Weird. I guess it's probably just in there for the extort ability. That would make sense. Trespasser's Curse. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under enchanted player's control, that player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Targeting the soldier opponent. Yep, they're playing a lot of creatures. We do get extorted 1 time. Opponent's gonna Mana Vault. And Helm of the Host, not equipped to anything. At that point, we will Jace's Archivist. Draw into some things. Go for the throat, not the worst. So that's going to bring it back to our turn. We draw into a Dimir Aqueduct. Step 1 is give our commander flying. What to discard? I think we can discard the Propaganda. Kambal, not really a beat stick type of commander. Actually, we can discard... Do we discard the Whispering Madness? I think we can discard Whispering Madness. So flying there, try this again. Pay a blue. Discard a card, going to be the Whispering Madness. Kambal is going to get us 1 more time. The Dreadnought as flying. Swing into the soldier opponent before they kill us, because it's turn 7. They got some stuff going. Next turn, I wouldn't be surprised if they killed both of us. So, Nahiri going down, taking 22 commander damage. Leaves only the Kambal. And then we are going to let us play this Propaganda. Kambal's going to get us. Play the Dimir Aqueduct. Pick up a Swamp. And we will pass turn like that. So, opponent needs removal. So we got some fans of the channel, just hanging out in the room watching the game. Not actually participants in the game, just viewers. Ooh, Meekstone. Well played, sir. Well played. Alright, what's in our graveyard? Anything that we can... Alright, we can copy the Trinket Mage and then copy back the Phyrexian Dreadnought. Opponent gonna put a Helm of the Host on the Kambal. Yep. Bounce land for our opponent. Helm of the Host is gonna trigger. Going to get an extra Kambal. Spells are going to be very painful to play. Opponent does not have any mana, so they cannot attack us. That's good news. That's why we played that Propaganda over the Frantic Search. That's going to bring it... Oh, yep, we need to not forget to use our abilities here. So we want to copy the Trinket Mage, let our turn come back, so we will draw, and it's a Vampiric Tutor. That Vampiric Tutor is a lot of life loss that I'm just not really in the mood to take at the moment. Use Lazav to copy the Phyrexian Dreadnought once more. I believe opponent can survive if they block with everything. Our maximum altitude is exiled, by the way. You can only jumpstart a card once. It's not like the retrace ability. Opponent going to throw 2 blockers in front. That'll stop 3 damage. I'm just going to throw everything in front. Sounds good to me. We can actually cast some spells if Kambal leaves play. Which it does. Opponent goes to 15 commander damage. And all of our stuff is instant, so we'll just hang on to the instant speed stuff. So opponent's going to get 1 more crack at it. Removal would be the best thing for them. Though, with Vampiric Tutor Frantic Search, we could like search for a counterspell, put it on top, and then Frantic Search our way into it, or even use the Jace's Archivist. So opponent would need... They would need a couple things. They would need to get through at least 1 counterspell. Sudden Spoiling, though, real magic card, that would buy them another turn. Merciless Eviction. Well, we're going to do that counterspell thing we talked about. Let's get the old mana drain. Oh god, I don't know if we have enough blue mana. 1, 2, 3, whew. Yep, just enough blue mana. Make sure that we tap properly. Use the Frantic Search. Oh right, Frantic Search untaps lands. Duh. Ooh, Vector Asp. Discard that. Discard the Go for the Throat. Untap some lands. Mana drain the Merciless. And that should do it. Yeah, so overpowered blue-black deck. Tutor for the things you need when you need them, draw into them at instant speed, and do ridiculous stuff. There's a Phyrexian Devourer. Oh, I forgot to untap our Lazav. Alright, well, use the Archivist. There's a Cyclonic Rift. Devourer goes to the graveyard. Play the Worn Power Stone. Play the Mind Stone. Sit on the Cyclonic Rift, and pass the turn. Yep, totally forgot to make our Lazav untappable. Ooh, opponent's got a Fumigate. Nice. Yeah, I guess that's gonna resolve. I sided out Bantu, or I took out Bantu right before I started filming. I was trying to get down to 100 cards, but Bantu is an interesting card to have in your graveyard for situations like this where someone tries to lay down a board wipe and just make it indestructible. But we do also have Thassa. I'm gonna crack this Mind Stone. I think our mana's pretty good. Suppose I could have cracked the Mind Stone just to see if it was a counterspell. It is not. It is a Phage. And maybe we'll try to go for the Phage win right here. Wish we had our boots. Our boots would make it nice and easy. Oh, hey, Blind Obedience. That's a card. Nothing worth really Cyclonic Rifting yet. Like, they have some stuff that's annoying, but it doesn't just kill us. I think I'd rather wait till it's till there's an issue. So recast our commander. It will surveil 1 and come in tapped. That's a Limdol's Vault. We're going to keep that on top of our library. Believe we have exactly enough for this Phage, so let's try it. Been waiting a long time to play Phage. Yep, got exactly enough. Hopefully we don't get blown out for not leaving up our Cyclonic Rift. Oh, Phage comes in tapped. Oh, this is all. Well, Lazav should untap. Meekstone, man. Meekstone blind to beatings. Not used to playing around that nasty little combo. Suture Priest. With an extort trigger, our life's getting low. Oh, we better close this game out fast before we die. Put the helm on Suture Priest? Or recast Kambal? Those are the choices. Yep, gonna replay the Kambal, no mana left for the extort. Does make it very difficult for us to play spells. Gonna get us for 1 more life. Life total getting down there. Think we just about have it, though. I can't imagine, as long as this thing untaps like it's supposed to. There, it untaps. There's Limdol's Vault. Don't mess this part up, and I think we're in good shape. So, copy the Dreadnought, and go attacking. Opponent says, now it's GG. Yeah, I definitely gave them a few extra turns inadvertently. So getting just a bit sloppy towards the end, counting my chickens just a bit too soon. Yeah, this deck, though, this deck is stupid. Like, don't play this deck against your friends unless your friends play really high power decks. It is crazy. I mean, this is probably one of the lowest mana curve decks I've ever made, and I could actually cut some of this stuff up here if I wanted to. If you really just focus on the Devourer and Walking Ballista, I mean, you basically have almost no cards above 5 mana, and you don't actually have plan to cast those things anyway. So, yeah, one of the lowest converted mana cost decks I've ever built, one of the lowest land count decks I've built, and this thing is just really, really powerful. Like, you guys saw how easy it was to just, like, get Phyrexian Dreadnought out of your library. There's a bunch of ways to do it. And get it in your graveyard, and then turn Lazav into Dreadnought and attack for a whole bunch. This commander is very, very powerful and has some kind of home in the competitive scene, I think. I'm not super in tune with what's going on with competitive EDH, but it's very fast, it's very consistent, so it's at least got to be in the conversation of decks that are very playable. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.